A coalition of civil society organizations has condemned the recent calls from politicians and groups to postpone the February 14 general elections as announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The group, while addressing a press conference in Abuja, encouraged the chairman of INEC, Professor Attahiru Jega, not to be intimidated in his ongoing efforts at installing high-level integrity in the nation's electoral process and ensure that elections are held as at when due in accordance with the rule of law.
Treasonable attempts to forcibly postpone the 2015 elections. We have observed with utmost concern several sinister plots in the last 3 weeks to harass the Independent National Electoral Commission into postponing the 2015 general elections. This began with a barrage of attacks on the credibility of INEC and its leadership. Those orchestrated moves to smear the electoral umpire and technically declare it unfit to manage the elections have now morphed into a bolder push for the postponement of the elections using the alleged lapses in the distribution of the permanent voters' cards as the main alibi. In the last few days, there have been different shades of sponsored agitations. We know that the overall objective is to create an atmosphere of uncertainty to justify the shift in the polls. We also are not unaware of the fact that the prime target of this mischievous and perfidious campaign is the electoral body chaired by Professor Attahiru Jega.
They also called on politicians to stop using provocative languages that can intensify existing tension within the polity.
We are not unaware that many of these politicians who are apparently scared of facing the people through elections are instigating crises in various parts of the country. Their aim is to justify their desire for postponement.
And Nigerians to resist dirty politics, show tolerance, and promote understanding in dealing with issues that could negatively affect the generality of Nigerians.
Meanwhile, Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has commenced training of its members assigned to monitor the general elections. NBA President Augustine Alege, represented by Oluwale Akintokunbo, third vice president of the association, urged the team to remain non-partisan at all times, adding that they should not be in a haste to address the press on electoral matters.
We appreciate that all NBA monitors will act at all times with a deep sense of responsibility and with the candor expected of NBA. I believe a central part of this training exercise will deal with interaction with the press being imbibed by all NBA election monitors.
The training is aimed at providing a bedrock for all NBA election monitors to ensure that they are aware of the electoral processes and their duties as election monitors. LM Chukwemeka reports for Ben TV.
The Nigerian main opposition party, All Progressive Congress, has once again expressed its readiness for this month's general election, saying it will not welcome any shift in the days of the poll. National chairman of the party, John Oyegun, at a news conference in Abuja, said APC has confidence in the ability of the Independent National Electoral Commission to conduct free and fair election in spite of its challenges. Oyegun also raised alarm that the ruling People Democratic Party are trying to drag members of Council of State into the issue of the planned postponement of the election date.
We want to state quite clearly that the APC has faith in the distinguished members of the Council of State and advises them not to become tools in the hands of an administration that wants to subvert our fragile democratic process. INEC should be allowed to perform its duties without the overbearing interference from other institutions of state and the evil machinations of the PDP. The APC reaffirms its commitment to fully participate in the general elections on February 14th and 28th, as planned. We will not accept any postponement.
From Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
As part of his effort to ensure that challenges facing the national health sector is properly addressed, the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) has called on the political parties and their representatives in the forthcoming general elections to state in clear terms how they intend to solve the numerous health challenges facing the nation in its bid to achieve universal health coverage. National President of the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA), Dr. Kayode Obembe, made this call while addressing newsmen during a press conference of the association in Abuja, the Nigerian capital.
Following the lifting of ban on electioneering campaign, we find that many political parties who have been watching their manifestos, their achievements, their promises, even their gatherings in the communities. It is very disturbing to note that there has not been any precise or articulate pronouncements about the challenges confronting the health sector and how to tackle them.
On the implementation of the recent National Health Act that was signed into law, Dr. Mbebe said clearly that no government, either at the federal, state, or local level, has an excuse not to develop the health sector, stating clearly that the National Health Act has created a template for the development of the health sector.
Now, the National Health Act has clearly prescribed that the provisions there were to protect, promote, and fulfill the rights of people in Nigeria to have access to healthcare services. It's clear in that National Health Act. That act went again to describe that fundamentally 50% of the 1% of the consolidated fund, that's 1%. 50% of that must be taken care of by NHIS. 20% to take care of essential drugs and vaccines. 15% laboratory equipment. 10% human resources. And 5% emergencies. So you can see the National Health Act, in its principle, has taken care of primary health care and community-based health insurance scheme.
He therefore used the medium to call on political parties to clearly articulate how to tackle these challenges confronting the health sector, particularly the implementation of the universal health coverage, expressing the concern of the health situation of the citizenry, noting that leaders appear not to take it very seriously.
It is an interesting thing that our polity is growing by the day. Professional organizations are now coming out to demand what they want from their leaders. The Nigerian Medical Association has just taken a stand today that if anybody wants to become the president or a ruler in this country in any dimension, they must come out clearly to tell the association what they will do in the health sector. From the Nigerian Medical Association Secretariat in Abuja, I am Festus Ejiroge Nefifen for Ben Television News.
Accommodation is one major problem facing police personnel, especially the divisional police officers and divisional crime officers across Nigeria. The chairman, Police Stakeholders Assisted Project, Ifeanyi Nwankwo, in a chat with journalists, said the recent tour embarked by his office discovered that most of the DPOs and DCOs, whom he described as foot soldiers in combating crimes, live in hotels or private homes of individuals. He said lack of accommodation for these foot soldiers has greatly hampered them from fighting crimes and other vices effectively. Nwankwo said the situation has left DPO or DCO at the mercy of their benefactor, whom he described as kingpin in their local community.
As a DCO to their various divisions, they don't have accommodation to stay. And sometimes people who provide this accommodation to them turn out to be kingpins. And when they are being given this accommodation by some of these top-boss members of this nation, you find out that these people's hands are being tied. And sometimes they conscientize the policemen that they start working with fear or favor. Because somebody who gives the accommodation is like somebody who gives you a lifeline. So we started meeting the stakeholders, consumers of police services, to see how they can come together to provide accommodation for these gentlemen of the police, the DCOs, the DPOs, the other commanders, to be able to rescue policing out of the hands of these people that have hijacked police for many years now.
Nwankwo applauded the gesture of the managing director of Fieldgreat Limited, Great Ogboru from Delta State, who has agreed to fund the construction of 7 bungalows and called on other multinational companies to key into the project. Awesome Raffle, Ben Television, Abuja, Nigeria.
The presidency has said over 4 million job opportunities have been created by Goodluck Jonathan-led administration in the last 2 years to boost the country's economic drive. Special advisor to the president on job creation, Ambassador Josephine Washima, stated this at a news conference in Abuja. She explained that in the face of ongoing political campaign ahead of this month's election, it is proper for our office to put the record on job creation straight.
NDE, from their trainings and collaborations, were able to create 1.3 million jobs in 2014. ITF created 39,995 jobs. The National Bureau of Statistics, we have put their figures together, so we'll give you a cumulative, which is 2.746062 million jobs. With those numbers, we have a total of 4,982,085 jobs created in Q3 2014.
She also called on private sector to assist government in the job creation drive, as she declared private sector as backbone of job generation.
I want to call on the private sector to take that responsibility very seriously, because job creation is private sector driven. And that is why Mr. President, in his wisdom, put together that committee.
Also speaking at the conference, representatives of the Bank of Industry, Jack King, said the bank is in tune with the federal government drive for job creation.
Basically, we've been able to avail 541 enterprises with loan worth 130 billion, and that has also created over 581 jobs.
From Abuja, Muyo Bamdele reporting.